Hi there, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Welcome into another Teach Me Tuesday episode. Today I wanted to feature our designer series paper because that is still on sale for just another less than 24 hours here until tonight at midnight. You can get, for every 3 packages of the designer series paper that you purchase, you can get one for free. I'm featuring the Autumn Harvest designer series paper from the holiday catalog. This is my favorite sheet from that paper. I just think it's so pretty. So what I wanted to do for you today is show you how to make 6 simple cards in 6 minutes. So the trick for this is you want 1 sheet of cardstock, 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock that coordinate with your pattern paper. So I'm using Old Olive, and you're going to cut those into card bases. So I have 6 card bases here. And that is basically just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, like this, cut at 5.5 on the long side. And then you'll get 2 card bases out of that. So if you do that with 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, you end up with 6 sheets, 6 card bases. And then I took one 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I cut it at, 4 across, and then 5 1/4. And then this would be the leftover piece, so you cut that at 5 1/4, and then another 4 inches across, 5 1/4, 5 1/4, 4 inches, 5 1/4, 5 1/4. So you get 6 pieces out of one 12 by 12 cardstock, or one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. All right, so then I took a stamp set that has 6 greetings. I'm using Just Add Text. It had some great focal point text. You don't want something really tiny because then it's really not going to give you substance for your card, because I'm basically making this paper and my text my focal point of my image. I wanted something that had a little more substance. So in order for me to do this in 6 minutes, I did cheat a little bit, and I pre-stamped and pre-cut out my 6 sayings. So these are the 6 sets or 6 sayings in that stamp set. So I went ahead and cut those out already. And I am going to also add in, you can see I used just early espresso for my ink, except for this one, just because I felt like it would look better in a color. So I used the Old Olive, which matched the card base. So what I'm going to do is I also took one little bit of texture too. So I have one ribbon that I'm going to use as well. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with, let's start with the Life is Better with Friends. Okay, this is very vanilla because the background of this is very vanilla. I want to give it a little bit of a vintagey vibe. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my crumb cake ink and my sponge, and I'm going to ink the edges of these just to give it a little more pop off the page. Okay. I am going to add some dimensionals on the back. So we'll just put 4 little dimensionals here. And for texture, I'm just going to do just a little bit of this yellow, just a pop of color. I'm going to cut them on an angle. I'm not going to actually tie it around. I'm just going to cut on an angle. And so I have that little bit. I'm going to go ahead and stick just a little bit of tape under here. Stick that down. And then I'm going to stick this on top. Okay, I have no idea if I'm going to actually be able to do this in 6 minutes or not, so here's hoping. Stick that down like that, and then flip this over, and tape that to the front of the card. There is card number 1. Simple, right? But cute. All right, next up we have this one here. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to actually use the square this time. I'm still going to do a little bit of inking on the edge. And for the little texture, Let's see if I want some texture here. So this is what it looks like. I think I'm actually going to wrap this one. So I'm going to take my, where did I put my ribbon? Here it is. I'm going to take my yellow ribbon this time, and I'm going to cut myself enough that I can tie a little knot. And if you didn't catch last week's Teach Me Tuesday, I did teach you how to do bows and knots, so be sure to check back there and check that out. So I'm going to go ahead and tie that. I'm only pulling lightly because, as I mentioned last week, if you pull too tight, you get that really scrunchy knot and not what you want usually. Whoops, I think my ribbon scissors got gunky or something. They don't seem to cut as nicely at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and tape that on. Okay, so that goes flat on my card base. Okay, I'm going to add some dimensionals again because we all know I love dimensionals. I'm going to put one in each corner. I like to throw one in the middle too, just so it doesn't sag. And we're going to take those off. And we're going to rearrange my knot so it doesn't cover the words. And then I'm just going to put that there. So there's number 2. All right, we're cruising right along. Number 3, I'm going to do the wonderful things. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of a banner end in this one. So I left a little extra here. I'm going to go ahead and slice a little hole in the center, or a little slit here in the center. Then go from corner to center and corner to center. And then I have my little banner edge. I don't think I'm going to ink this one, but I do want to add a little bit of the ribbon under here. I'm going to cut a straight edge here, like that. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive under the bottom edge of this, because I'm going to attach my little yellow ribbon here to the underside. So I'm just going to let it peek out. Trying to get it so it's somewhat straight. Like that. And I have a little bit showing right here, so I'm going to trim that off. And then I'm just going to plop that down right on top of the pattern paper, just flat this time. So as you can see, I'm just using this paper and these greetings as my focal point for my cards. So super simple, super easy, and I did not design what I was going to do with these in advance. I'm just kind of rolling with it here. I obviously cut the paper and stamped my images in advance just so that I could try to get everything done in 6 minutes. We'll see if that works. Alright, so next up I have this guy, which this one I think needs a little bit of inking, and I say that because it's got so much white space around it that I just want to do just a little bit of inking along the edge here to get my stuff. And since I'm already at 9 minutes, I didn't do this in 6 minutes. But you get the idea, right? All right. So this one, I'm going to pop this one again. I think I want like a little fold over underneath here. This is going to be flat, so I'm going to go ahead and tape this down. Okay. And we'll do that. All right. Then I'm going to take this ribbon again. This time I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a foldy-do. That is a technical term, a foldy-do. So I'm going to kind of do this and fold it over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of tape in the middle here so I can stick this to it. Then I'm going to fold, making sure it's long enough so that it will stick out on the sides. might have to play with it a little bit. We'll see how it comes out. Let's do this. Okay. And then I'm going to stick this over it. It's a little bit, not quite long enough. There. All right. So, hold on. We need longer. We'll make that a little bit longer. Okay. Perfect. That's better. All right, so now I'm going to take my dimensionals. I'm going to go ahead and put a few of those on here. One more, just because I can. And peel those back. And we'll put this on top here. There's number 4. Okay, number 5 is this one, which I designed to go all the way across like that. And I think I'm actually gonna leave it like that. I am gonna do a little bit of edging on this one. Just a little bit of coloring for the paper, so it'll stand off the pattern paper just a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and tape that down. I am going to cheat just a tiny bit by grabbing one other thing. I don't want the ribbon on this one, but I do want some sort of embellishment, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape this down. And then, hoping that stuff is where it's supposed to be, I'm going to go ahead and sneak under my drawer here, and I'm going to find my little pearlies. And I'm going to stick some pearls in the little flowers here, just to give it a little bit of a oomph. There we go. So there's number 5. And then the last one is using this guy. So I actually am going to do something a little bit different with this one. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to ink the edges of this too. Just to, again, to add to that vintage vibe. I'm a big vintage vibe girl. Alright, so I like that. Now let's see what to do with this. I'm thinking maybe to do, whoops, I just got ink on one of my 6 cards. Maybe a little loop-de-loo under here. And then add that. Obviously trimming it down a little bit because it doesn't need to be that big. Let's see if I like that. I have to see it visually for me to know. So we could do that. It's kind of cute. What do we think? I think that should work. Alright, so I'm going to flatten this out. And I'm going to put this down like that. A little bit of tape here, so I have something to stick my little loop-de-loo to. Like that. Okay, and then some dimensionals, of course. Alright. And done. There we go. So I think it was more like 15 minutes, but I tried. But you've got 6 simple cards and very easy to put together, all using 1 sheet of card paper. So if you have like a bunch of excess paper, which who doesn't, right? You can totally bang out some really super simple, easy, fast, quick cards for any occasion really, but even think about this for your mass producing of your holiday cards. You can do this so quickly, so easily. Just grab a Christmas greetings set and some paper that you like, and you could easily, with 1 pack of paper, do 72 cards just like that. So I hope that helped you in inspiring you to get to work. We obviously try and give you some quick and easy, simple tricks, as well as some stepped up techniques and tricks as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, the red button under my YouTube channel, and we will see you next time for Teach Me Tuesday. Have a great week. Thanks so much.